Grieving sister to student oncology nurse. This is my personal thank you to Silver Oncology Ward. Oncology. As soon as I heard that word, my heart sank. Not because I was inconvenienced by the sudden change in placement, but because my oldest sister, my first friend, the person I looked up to, even if I didn't show it, at the age of 32 passed away only 4 months before. Fighting what seemed to her like a never-ending battle for 5 years, primary cervical cancer, secondary bladder, and eventually spread into all major organs. She would beat one, and then another would come back with vengeance, larger and more aggressive. Cancer, the word that pains me every time I see it and hear it. How was I ever going to act as a training professional with such raw feelings to hide for 37.5 hours a week for the next 12 weeks? Obviously, as I knew I wanted to be a nurse, I would eventually, in my training, come across the big C. Just not so soon. My first thoughts were leaving the course and abandoning the prospect of becoming a nurse altogether. Some people may think that this was completely ridiculous, but that was the lengths I was willing to go to avoid the pain of reliving the devastation my family and I are currently living. After some time and a lot of tears, and of course a phone call to my mum, as I always call my mum when I'm sad, she told me that I have worked too hard to give up, so I thought to myself that I'd just lump it, get it out the way. But this turned out to be the complete opposite. I didn't need to lump it and get it out the way. I ended up enjoying it. In fact, I would even say that this has helped me grieve in one of the most rewarding ways possible. My first day on the ward, I decided it was a good idea for me to be completely honest about my personal circumstances. I met with Sam, the ward manager, and my mentor, to tell her about what might hold me back emotionally. This amazingly kind and caring woman showed me great admiration and made me feel proud for just being on the ward. Over the next few weeks, the more I learnt about the complicated world of oncology nursing, the more it felt like I was understanding what my sister went through. This may seem really odd to some, but I started to feel almost comforted from it all. Understanding terms that weren't always explained properly to me by my sister to try and protect us from the severity of her disease. Being able to talk to people about my sister without it being a taboo subject felt amazing. Usually mentioning the word cancer, people became awkward and give you this uneasy look, but speaking to people who care for these brave people day in, day out was caring. The look was caring and loving. The staff on Silver are some of the most amazing people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. Since day one walking in on the ward, they have shown me nothing but kindness and comforted me in times where I found difficulties. I haven't just worked alongside these nurses, I've built professional relationships and personal friendships. Every single day I am in absolute awe of how composed and committed to the ward every single staff member is. The placement I was dreading more than anything turned out to have the exact opposite effect. It has inspired me to complete my training no matter how tough the next 3 years may be. I would even say that once qualified I would even consider having a career in oncology. So I want to say a massive thank you to everyone on Silver Oncology at Worcester Royal Hospital. You have all made an experience I thought would be difficult for me to handle mentally into a comforting, rewarding experience. You have all in some way given me the peace that I needed, and I am forever grateful.